Okay.
What is this?
He's just what is that? Okay, can I do the intro now, guys?
Please.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 7 of the podcast that I've still not named until this day. Today, we are blessed with 2 special guests and my co-host, Iggy. And we are going to speak about a topic that I feel as ease actually does resonate with many people. So our first 2 guests are Effzed and Aalia. Woo!
Okay, I was waiting for the parade like I was.
Yeah.
I really was.
We can put some post editing in there if we want to. Yeah. And just before we get to you guys, the topic that we are going to speak about today is the concept of modern dating for millennials.
Damn.
So,
without further ado,
can our guests introduce yourselves, what you do, and all those nice things?
I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna speak into the mic over here. Yes. My name is Fatima Zahra Valley. I'm 25 years old, and I am a social media manager / network marketer / teacher / all-round hustler / photographer.
I think I need to make it my face.
No, I'm just a creative trying to make money from being creative. I think that's what I would call it, and also just having like a primary job trying to survive in this petrol price pandemic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Quite interesting.
Yeah, we're all forging our paths.
Hi, I'm Aalia Samsudin. I'm 23 years old, and I'm an oral hygienist.
Yeah.
A doctor.
Yeah. No, whoa.
Not a doctor.
That was the first mistake I made.
Oh, did he call you
Yeah,
doctor?
I was
Did
like,
he call you doctor?
Hey, doc. Like, hey, I'm not a doctor. Okay,
Oh, wow.
cool, okay.
It's a thing. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. You
No.
have the coat and everything. But,
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, and me.
Yes.
I'm just Iggy, and I'm just your dating. I'm just. It's so weird. It's such a weird thing that I have to introduce myself.
My
with.
co-host Iggy. My
So-
co-host Iggy.
Yeah, I'm just I'm just a clown.
But I just
This is can I say that this is exactly why I still don't, after like 3 years of being Iggy's friend, because of that introduction, I still don't know what it is.
he's actually Iggy is
Exactly.
I don't even
Yeah,
know
we
what
don't
you
know.
You're a consultant of everything.
I like
You
to
are
operate
the-
in the shadows.
Yeah. But all that I know is you
I look
bring
like
joy.
Iggy.
You bring joy to many people's lives. So yeah.
He's the
Yeah.
sunshine.
Alhamdulillah ladhi. So I just want to thank you guys for being here today and being availing yourselves to talk about this topic, because I know many people today are very shy and they see this
It
as
is a
something
shy topic
intimidating,
though, yeah.
seeing as something intimidating, but
Yeah.
I would argue that speaking about it, like on this kind of platform, is just as intense as putting yourself out there in a
For sure.
dating like
Yeah.
space
Yeah.
or platform.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're opening yourself up, your
Regardless,
opinions.
yeah.
So you're kind of putting that out there in the ether, and if people, whether you know them or you don't, you're kind of giving them that platform to respond.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I always think it's brave. Always think it's brave that people speak in this way, and it's one of the things that we spoke about as well. And we're like, we don't care. This is
love
what
that
this
for you
is. This is we're speaking, and especially Harith, he wants to say. You say, I want to say my say, but we're not. We don't want to step on any
Yeah.
toes, but we want to have conversations with people, and that's why we're here. We're speaking about dating. Yay!
So obviously I have a few questions lined up, but with that said, I don't want this to be like I'm interviewing
Like an
you guys.
interview us, yeah.
Yes, I want the back and forth. So if there's anything that you guys want to ask, feel free and do that. But I think we'll start off with a question for both of you, what is your perception of the current dating marketplace?
Oh, wow. Alia, you know?
You first, Aalia.
Go for it, girl.
So what is the marketplace?
the dating pool, the dating marketplace. That's more of a
Regardless
more
of
a
ages.
metaphor to explain what.
Regardless of age, gender,
I
makeup,
think
just
age
everything.
is mattering less and less. Really.
I agree. I actually think right now people are giving more thought and empathy to what you are made up of. So your that value that
substance.
exists within you
Yeah.
and how you can enhance their life. But no, what do you think it is?
No, like what's your current experience? Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. To be honest, like I've been single like for the last year, probably longer.
Is it by choice or you just didn't find anyone that's not in your DMs talking
It's
nonsense?
sparking interest, basically.
Yeah, no.
Because you know what says, you know what your Gary says. He says it goes down.
Yeah.
I think it's been by choice, to be honest, because I've shifted my focus like towards my studies and like starting my career and all of that. But like, I don't think I would go into dating anytime soon. Like with everything, it's just I don't know.
No, explain that.
Is it something
like I
that
think
makes you fearful, or is it based on a bad experience, or is it just everything?
Everything, to be honest? Like guys just freak me out.
Or is it the type of
Yeah.
the type of guys that you
the type of guys that are like pursuing me is just scaring me to be.
What can I ask? Like what type of guys?
These guys, they're so like these guys in my DM.
why are you whispering the question? You do know we can hear you, right? I'm kidding.
What type of guys like typically approach you?
Yeah, there are many guys in my DMs that just they come across as you are theirs, and I don't like that.
Oh,
Like,
Possessive.
Yeah, no, completely
like
understand.
no,
what you're
they're
saying.
like
Off the bat.
Off the bat.
Off the
Yeah,
bat.
before you even respond.
off the bat. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
not my
icky.
vibe.
Okay. So you're taking I presume you're taking a break from dating for a long time
Yeah.
now. Okay, understandable. Effzed, your perception. I'm quite keen to hear yours.
So this is the thing now. It's like I crave intimacy and companionship. I definitely do. And obviously get a question a lot of like, do you want to get married again? And I do. But the whole premise of giving up like my independence right now, that scares the shit out of me. And also to find someone that will be a provider in a sense of like the way that maybe a Muslim man is supposed to provide for his wife, but not treat me like I'm his couch or a position in his home. That's something I haven't been able to find a balance with. And I think that in every person that approaches me that I obviously like feel reciprocal about, like I'm like, okay, let's see. I'm always open. I'm always like bubbly, happy, chappy, but I draw a line very quickly if I start to feel things. I'm just like,
Yeah.
no. And
I go
want to kind of like I want to say it's due to like the past experience that I've had, obviously, with like my marriage and like maybe like previous dating experience, but also guys nowadays, the way like the way that Aalia said, like they approach you, like they just like they come in and they're like, this is the rules, and you're like, what do you mean?
Off the press.
Yeah, it's either they come in creepy or they come in possessive, and that's both weird.
I have a question. Nowadays, what does nowadays mean?
Nowadays,
Yeah, not the
Media.
word. I mean, in relation to what are you comparing it to? So now in comparison to,
probably like when I was like pre-marriage.
okay,
You had like all these other ideas of relationships and what they're
Yeah.
supposed to be, and obviously I model a lot of what I think it is supposed to be off of my parents' relationship. They have a wonderful relationship, and there's lots of times that my sister and my brother and I will all sit and look at them like, you know what, you guys, the standard that you're setting for us, like you're making shit impossible. We go out into the world and like men are not like my dad, or women are not like my mom, or whatever. And we kind of just like disillusioned almost. Well, that's where I'm at. I'm not sure where my siblings are.
Okay, so just to provide some clarity for the viewers, and I should have probably started with this question. Are you dating, single? Definitely not married, because the thing is, the whole point about talking about modern dating is for people that are in the so-called marketplace. Yeah, so just to clarify for the viewers.
Just to clarify for the viewers, I am single.
Okay.
I was married. I got married very, very young,
Mm-hmm.
at like 20. I wouldn't call it an arranged marriage, but we did not date. So I kind of like come from like my parents didn't allow dating kind of background.
Mhm.
And then I fell into that like quite naturally. I was like, okay, if that's what's required of me, like shot, I'll go for it. And I met someone through a friend, and we like spoke a little, and we got married. And then very quickly I realized that, you know what, this actually isn't the way I would like to have gone about things.
Yeah.
And then I had a daughter. And so now it's like dating, but also co-parenting.
Yeah.
So it's complicating your.
And like
Would
that-
you say it's
that's like
complicating
a-
your dating?
definitely
your
like
dating
a factor that I have to consider. So I really feel for like single moms in general,
Yeah.
but especially the ones in their early 20s, early 30s, where it's like you have these kids and you're also trying to have a life of your own.
Yeah.
Mm.
But men want to be creepy, so you
Yeah.
just don't trust anyone around yourself,
Yeah.
let alone your kid. It's like a thing.
But when you say men want to, like, I feel like you're generalizing, man. Is
That
it
men wanna be
specific?
creepy.
It's specific to the type of guys that are approaching you, same as Aalia was saying.
Potentially.
That the type of guys that's pursuing you is the ones that are very possessive. You mentioned that you were
Yeah.
kind of experiencing the same thing.
Yeah.
So then this begs on to my next question. What type of guys are you looking for? If you are.
The kind of guy I'm looking for is. I'm also single. Why don't you
Yeah.
ask me? What's wrong with me?
You my co-host, bro. You're supposed to be.
I think the type of guy that I would typically look for is someone that's very ambitious, someone that doesn't come across too strong, you know, and someone that will always have my heart at the,
Mm.
you know, like,
Romance.
Someone who's very considerate.
yeah, and you don't find that much these days.
Okay.
Do you feel the same? In that way.
No, not exactly. Like I do think that those are traits that I look for, definitely. But I find that I attract like the same kind of people that I'm looking for. Do you know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
I will inevitably, firstly because I always look for the good in everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So I will try and find the best traits possible, and I will navigate the conversation to bring that out of that person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's also something that I find enjoyable. So like I'm speaking to new people, I would ask them questions in a way that allows me to uncover those traits. So I do find that guys can be considerate, and they can be sweet, and they can be all the things that you want them to be. But obviously then it comes down to like chemistry and compatibility, and like potentially you have chemistry with someone, but you don't always have compatibility.
That's something that you just reminded me of, because I a couple of years ago I went with my brother to before he got married, I went with him and his now wife
Yeah.
to marriage classes, man. And so there was something that they never spoke about, is how do you know if you're compatible with somebody? How do you know? Is it just like it's that click, is it the chemistry, is it we have the same interests? Because sometimes you can't just share the same interests, because then you're not experiencing anything new.
Yeah.
And eventually you might get bored. You'll be like,
Yeah.
where's your own?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't be an exact version of me. It's not going to work. Yeah. So my question to you is, how do you know if you're compatible with somebody?
I really want Iggy to take that question before I answer.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. I think as soon as I get past this cough, I think compatibility is subjective. I think it's subjective to the scenario and the individuals in that scenario,
Yeah.
because compatibility could often lead itself to logic and emotion, depending on where you are. And sometimes, if you're thinking, and that's why I asked the question, do you feel the same? Because, like, the way I think about things, especially why I asked the question about nowadays, traditionally and historically, dating was set
Yeah.
out as something to find a mate, so that you could mate and live and
Yeah.
love and procreate
Correct.
and lum and play PlayStation. So,
I know your next question should definitely go in that direction.
and it's I think it's very evident that throughout the ages, decades and times, it's evolved and changed.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that the idea of compatibility is not something that you can put down on paper as black and white. You can possibly draw a fundamental foundation in relation to, like, traits and characteristics. I want an honest love, a respect. I want to be understood.
It's like all those
I don't want to
dating
share my
shows, you know
chips.
what I mean? Where they're like,
And things like that. And I think that's my
Yeah.
understanding of compatibility. Yeah.
okay, so I'm gonna say that in the last year or so, I've gone through like a very aggressive period of not necessarily being single to the point of like I avoid men at all costs and like I don't speak to them or whatever. Like I will speak to guys, and because in my mind I'm also doing research. But like
User testing.
Yeah.
like it's kind of like
trial version.
it's kind of like an aggressive period of self-development and growth, and I think that's something that Aalia and I have in common now, is we were just like, focus on yourself, focus on your studies. The right guy will come when he comes,
Yeah.
and it will be someone that also put themselves first. Like, so I think that once you have like a certain amount of, I want to call it like, let's say, processes or steps that you've now put in place, like you need to love yourself before you can love anyone else.
Yeah.
So you go through that process of loving yourself first, doing things for yourself, making sure that you're self-sufficient. Whatever I want or think I want a man to do for me, I must be able to do for myself first.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. And then I will go a step further to be like, figure out your love language. Do you know what I mean? Figure out the ways that you like to be told, I care about you, I appreciate you, etc.
Yeah.
And then something that I came to now, like a couple months ago, was your fight language.
Yeah.
Where it's like, maybe if you're having a conflict with someone, because everything is amazing, Gucci gang when you're dating, it's great. First couple months, I'm in love, I'm going to marry this person, whatever. But now you hit, as normal people do, that bump of an argument or like a disagreement or a conflict. And I think it's so important for us not to only discuss like, this is what I love, this is how I would like to be shown to be loved, la 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 la. How do you like to fight?
Yeah.
How would you like to resolve a
Yeah.
conflict? Nobody talks about that.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying like, I go quiet and I need space for an hour or two. And the other person's like, I need to hammer this conversation out now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right
there's
now.
clearly there's gonna be
I
some
know.
Do you know what I mean? So
disagreement
there's a
there.
disconnect, and I don't think that those two people
I know what you
can't be
compa-
together. I don't think they
You
can't.
don't think they
Yeah.
can't be
I
together?
don't
Or
think
you
they
don't
can't be
think they
together. I
can?
think they need to figure it out.
On how they're gonna be.
Yes, because now let's say you're with this person and you have other compatibilities around like your relationship, and I like the way they do this and I like the way they do that and I like the way they
I
treat
tend to
me,
agree. I tend to
etc.
agree
But let's
But I
just
because
do
that's
think
how angry
let's
things
just
come about.
let's
You know,
just
I'm not joking. I'm serious.
Yes.
That's why it's a thing.
But
you
like-
know, after fight sex, it's a thing.
Yes, but like you
Wait,
also
what did you say?
Like after fight sex. Like when-
Oh, you're talking
you know
about
what
the
I mean?
makeup thing.
Yeah. It's an actual thing.
It's a-
Getting through it is one of the
Yeah.
coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
Yes. But I wanted to point this scenario in because what you were saying about those two people that can't not be together. Am I
no
understanding
man.
that right?
I'm saying that just because your fight language is going quiet and his fight language is shouting,
Yes.
doesn't mean that you guys can't work it out.
Okay.
I'm
Because
saying-
that there you just
Yes.
reminded me now of painting the dynamic of, let's say you don't want to, you're not still in the mood to like argue and stuff because it's not the way, like if you need to take your space to calm down, you need to do it on your own. Like you
Yeah.
can't have someone continuously hammering, but then the person that's hammering, if you walk out, then it's
They
like,
feel
oh,
abandoned.
you don't care about
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
They take it personally.
Because they will
Because
twist it.
it's
They
just,
will
of course,
twist it.
A different personality comes out.
Yes, yes.
So how would you handle that situation? Aalia, you go.
Fatal.
No, you go.
No, how
But
would
what's the
you?
question? What's the question?
Like, or rather even like, what is
No, 'cause she's-
your fight language, man?
Okay, my
Oh
fight
yeah,
language.
what is your fight language?
Okay, I tend to scream and get
Really?
angry.
Don't look
Really? Don't lie.
I wouldn't have thought.
Don't lie.
I would have thought maybe.
I'm the quiet person though.
Oh, so it's the complete.
I go mute.
Okay.
And I go, don't go mute.
You like put on the gloves.
Yeah.
Let's go. You
Wait,
flew
like-
no
like I just want to sort it out right now, get it over and done.
Are you very aggressive?
So like screaming.
Yes, I'm not aggressive, no.
Okay.
But
Screaming
like
is quite
I'm very vocal.
Vocal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Um,
didn't get that vibe.
I
Honestly,
didn't get
I
that
never
vibe
got that
also.
vibe. I was
She's the
surprised.
girlfriend that when you first have your first argument, you
Yeah, then you see red eyes.
Red flag.
Yeah.
Wait,
no,
what?
Not red flags, like that image of that flame around them. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
Can
So
you give an example, please? Like a thing that like rubs you the wrong way in a relationship that has caused that reaction in you.
I would say like when someone would tell me what to do, like
No, that's the thing. Yeah.
like don't tell me what to do.
okay, but
There's
let's
You
say
know.
there's
different
a.
levels of telling you this.
Yeah,
this
of course.
this nice kind of
Reason.
I'm your partner and can you get that for me? Like telling you what to do.
Okay.
No.
You know?
No.
This is what I want, not that. And then there's no, you are not right, you are wrong, this is what you, I think that so the cutie kind of side of things where you kind of like massaging the
No, I think that regardless, like especially if a woman, like please, like we must preface this by saying that women are sometimes, especially in the beginning of a relationship, naturally in a defense state. Like especially if you've been hurt before, you've been through stuff,
Yes.
you have like a trusting, like you kind of like open, like myself
Your
now,
guard is up.
open, but your guard is very much up.
yeah.
So you're also gonna be on the lookout of like, does this man want to be my daddy? Because that is the experience I've
I
had.
see.
Like,
I
no
see.
matter how you ask,
Yeah.
you're
Okay.
gonna come across as wanting to exert some type of control in
Yeah.
exchange for something.
Yeah.
And
You don't want to be, don't tell me. Ask me,
Don't
speak
tell
with
me.
me,
Correct.
engage with me,
exactly.
but don't act me.
If you,
At
Yeah.
if you,
Iggy 30.
if you want something out of your girlfriend or your wife, it's a long game,
Yeah.
brothers. It's a
Yeah.
long game. Like you have to play the long game.
Yeah.
It's like a 2-day build up of like be super nice, not manipulative, just nice. And
Just be little.
because the thing is like, it's no secret that women, everything that happens with her, like intimately, like it happens in her head. Do you know what I mean? Men are visual creatures. Women are just like up in her head the whole time.
That's good that you understand that.
So
Yeah.
yes, but like women need to know them about themselves, and their partners need to know that about them as well.
Yeah.
So you need to know that like whatever is happening now, like let's say like she's tripping over something, this is a 2-day-old thing that's been festering. Do you know what I mean?
But I
I
understand.
didn't know I was brought back. What?
Do you like?
Are we there again?
Getting back to like.
Time travel. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah, I
the
know
same,
exactly what you
the
mean.
same thing with something nice.
Yes. It's in the drawer.
Let's do a pause break now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of
Let's do a
20
pause.
minutes.
Yeah. Let's see how far.
Can I pause this?
How
Yes.
far is that?
On 25 minutes.
Yo, that's
Oh,
actually
shot.
good.
That's
That's
perfect.
actually good.
Who was that? Was that your daddy? He looks a scary guy, no?
That's what everybody sees.
He looks scary.
That's
No,
actually
no, but
good.
my mommy also looks extremely scary. So like,